So our speaker today, speaking from the heart, Bonnie Gordon.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome. And thank you all so much for being here today. My heart is filled with love and gratitude that each and every one of you are here today. Deeply appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you, Asia, for that beautiful song. I did my best not to cry. She doesn't want to practice with me because I cry every time she practices. Hearing her sing. So I promised her I wouldn't cry. But thank you, it was beautiful. Beautiful. I am really, really happy to be here today. But I am happier, much happier, that you are all here today. Because what I'd like to talk about today is you. I'd like to talk about you, the one who is hearing my voice, that which is sitting in your seat. And I'd like you to consider that you scripted me into your life today so that you could learn a little bit deeper about who and what you truly and eternally are. And I want to start with a story, because everybody likes stories. Right? In a quaint village in France, high upon a grassy hilltop covered with clovers and golden daisies, sat a simple white church. And from the outside, this church appeared quite ordinary. But if you walked into this church during the daytime, and if you gazed up beyond the pulpit, there was a sight that would fill your heart with wonder. It was a magnificent, stained glass window. And in the morning before dawn, the monks that lived on the property would come to the stained glass window. And they would work on it. They would expand it. They'd add new panes of glass, new colors and designs. And then there were some monks that were fixing up the stained glass window. They'd fix the broken panes of glass. And they'd replace darkened panes of glass with lighter, brighter, more vibrant panes of glass. The monks worked on the stained glass window all day long. It was a labor of love. The stained glass window was a masterpiece in the works. And then, when the sun rose up over the horizon in the morning, a great miracle occurred. The golden rays of brilliant sunlight shined forth with all their magnificence, with wild abandon, withholding nothing, extending all the fullness, magnificence of within them into and through the stained glass window. And when the beams of magnificent light shine through the colors and the designs and distinctions of the window, the entire church lit up with color. Colors, designs, distinctions animated and danced throughout the church and onto the walls and the ceilings of the church. It took people's breath away. The beauty had people drop to their knees in wonder. Tears of joy and inspiration filled the hearts and souls of all those who witnessed its beauty. The stained glass window radiated its magnificence and its beauty all day long, touching and inspiring thousands of people. But then, as every day will have, the sun must set. And the sun did set on this little quaint village in France. And before long, complete darkness fell on the town and the church. There was no more life force energy animating through the window. No more light, no more colors, no more expression. But even though the stained glass window had no more life force expressing through it, those very same rays of sunlight the very life force of the window, the brilliance that shined and radiated through the window, continued to shine. It continued to extend all its love, all its magnificence, all its grace. It shined its light, those same beams of light, into churches, schools, libraries, bars, cities, towns, all over the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Those beautiful, vibrant rays of life force energy shined without expectation, without discrimination, without judgment. They shined on everyone and everything that was open to their light and allowed their light in. Those rays of sunlight shined unconditionally, maximally, and eternally to everyone and everything, everywhere, always and forever. For that was their very nature, to shine. The end. Now you all may be wondering, what does that story have to do with me? You just told me, Bonnie, we were going to be talking about me today, right? Well, I'd like you to consider that that story actually has everything to do with you. Because that story is more of an analogy than a story. And the stained glass window represents, in the analogy, your conditioned identity or your conditioned self. And what I describe as a conditioned self would be the physical body, the brain, the DNA. It would be your name, all those letters and numbers after and before your name, your roles, your titles. It would be your gifts, your talents, your skills, your abilities. Like Asia's gift of singing. We all have gifts, many, many gifts. It would be your belief systems, your thoughts, your ideologies. It would be your education, your information, your wisdom that you hold, your personality. All your mental, psychological, emotional programming is your conditioned identity. And the monks in the analogy, the ones that come and they're expanding the stained glass window, those are the monks of transformation. And that's all the influences of life that are constantly influencing us and changing us, making us an always ongoing, changing, morphing entity. New experiences, deepening and developing relationships, gaining knowledge, acquiring gifts, skills and talents, those all expand us. And the monks that were fixing up the panes of glass, those are the monks of healing. And that's when we heal childhood wounds, traumas, hurts. When we let go of disempowering or limited belief systems that are holding us back. And when the monks are replacing a darkened pane of glass, that's when we forgive. When we turn an ancient hatred into a present love. And our hearts become lighter, brighter, and more vibrant. And just like the monks work on the stained glass window, as we go through life, all our life, we have many influences constantly changing us. We too, our conditioned identity is a masterpiece in the works. And the conditioned identity is important, it's valuable, and it's necessary in living a human life. And with our conditioning, we all may have things that we want to change or heal or develop. But we all have so many gifts, skills, talents, abilities that enrich, inspire, and heal, and enrich our own lives and the lives of many, many others. And as wonderful as this conditioned identity is, it's not all of who we are. It's a valuable instrument through which the eternal aspect of us can express through temporarily. And so the eternal self, the eternal true identity in this analogy is that brilliant sun, that infinite sun, and the infinite rays of light that are streaming through and in the stained glass window. What you are is a presence, a consciousness, an awareness. You are omnipresent awareness. You are not a localized body, form, or object. Your true identity isn't limited to anything that can be defined. Your true identity is an unlimited, eternal, infinite, all-loving, omnipresent grace that immerses all things everywhere, always. You are the eternal rays of sunlight, extending forth from an eternal source of pure, divine grace. And this source has been called God, Creator, Brahman. It extends its very own being, just like the sun, to create you in its likeness. And you've been called many names. Your true self, your true identity, presence, awareness, true nature, Buddha nature, pure potentiality, universe, infinity, eternity, many, many names. All those names have the same qualities within them. So I want to talk about the qualities of your true being, your true nature, because I did promise I would talk about you today. So as you listen to this, I want you to really get that this is who you are. This is the truth within you. I'm not talking theory. This is you. This is the truth within you. The true nature, your true nature, as infinite love, infinite divinity, has only one setting: maximal. There's no dimmer on the rays of light that come from the sun. And there's no dimmer on you. There's no three-way setting. Your truth within you now is maximal. You shine all your love, all your light on everyone, always, everywhere. You are eternal and you are infinite. The divine, infinite love and light that is within you is in you right now. That maximal love is in you now. It never ceases to exist. It can never be lost. It is always, constantly, forever within you. Eternally. You can access it at any time, any moment. It is constant, permanent, and forever safe. The love, the divinity within you is unconditionally all-loving. You are an all-loving, unconditionally all-loving consciousness. Your stained glass window may not always be. That's okay, but your eternal truth of who you are is unconditionally all-loving consciousness. And that is the way your eternal light loves you, your conditioned identity, and that is the way your source loves you. So your true nature and your source love you unconditionally and maximally and eternally, regardless of what you've done, what you haven't done, what has been done to you, regardless of your race, your religion, your economic, your educational background. It doesn't matter. The love within you loves unconditionally. And your source loves you unconditionally. Always and forever and unconditionally. There's nothing you can ever do to lose the love of your true self or your Creator. Nothing. You are wholly innocent and pure and all-loving, unconditionally, always and forever. Just like the rays of sunlight, there's no gaps and there's no separation. One being, unified, inseparable, wholly connected, and the same. So are you. You are everywhere always. There is nowhere you are not. There is but one love, one light, one ever-expanding presence that is you. You are unchanging. This true self that is you, right here, right now, in you, as you, is unchanging. It is wholly innocent, and nothing can change that. It is wholly pure, nothing can change that. It is wholly maximal and unconditional. There is nothing you can do in this conditioned identity that can change the permanent, constant truth of who you are as divine, magnificent, wholly innocent, absolutely magnificent light. I want you to imagine that stained glass window. And then imagine that sun and the brilliant rays of sunlight shining into it. Imagine the stained glass window changes up its colors, changes up its designs. You know, it might even smash into a million pieces. Has anything that has happened in the stained glass window ever affected the sun and the primordial rays of light shining forth beyond the stained glass window? Have they changed? They're primordial. Yeah. This is how we know our sins are always forgiven. Because who we truly are is still wholly innocent, wholly perfect. Regardless of what happens in this conditioned identity, this stained glass window. Regardless. It might affect our occurring world. Yes, might have an impact and consequences in the world. But the truth of who we are is unchanging. Just like the sun. The sun ever expands, but is unchanging primordial light. We are ever expanding, unchanging, divine, magnificent grace. That is who you are. There is no beginning and no ending to who you are. You are infinite and eternal. And you're all-loving, wholly innocent. Maximal love and light can never cease to exist. So this has been a nice discussion about who you are. And some of you may have heard this before. It's not new stuff. But it's nice to hear again. It's good to be reminded of who the truth that we are, and that is always safe within us. And nothing can change that. Nothing can change who we are and the love of the divine has for us. But wait, there's more. You got that from Russ? There is more. There's more to who you are that I'd like to tell you about this morning. I want you to imagine that sun shining beyond the stained glass window and see those brilliant rays of light shining forth in and through the stained glass window and then out the stained glass window. And that light that's shining out the window is imbued with all the colors and the designs and the distinctions of the window. And that imbued light creates a beautiful light show within the church of color. Now, if the primordial rays of sunlight are you, and the stained glass window is you, in this analogy, isn't the imbued light and the beautiful light show within the church also you? It is you, your true essence shining through your conditioned identity and transformed by the lights and the colors and the designs within the church, within the window. that expand out into the church. So in this analogy, the imbued light and the beautiful light show that's in the church is what I call your occurring identity. And it is the entire occurring world. It is everything that you become aware of in any moment. Anything you perceive. That is your occurring world. And it is also you. Your entire occurring world. Anything your consciousness becomes aware of. Me standing here. A bird chirping in springtime. Gentle breeze upon your face. The smell of a beautiful flower. That is also you. That is as much you as the body that is sitting in the seat. And so, by knowing that we are the occurring world, that's also us. It's no accident. It gives us a couple beautiful opportunities to live our life by. One opportunity is we realize that the external world, the occurring world, is an exact reflection. In that, as the light comes through the stained glass window, if the stained glass window was all blue, the light would be all blue. If the window was all pink, the light would be all pink. If it was blue and pink, it'd be blue and pink. So our occurring world is an exact and perfect projection, reflection of our conditioned identity. There's no accidents out there. It's not an accident. It's exactly reflecting of who we are. And so we can use this really powerful knowing by if anything out there upsets us, from the mildest little upset to the wildest rage, doesn't matter, they're all the same. We can use that by knowing that that is just a reflection of somewhere in our stained glass window, in our conditioned identity, where we're withholding love from ourselves. Where we may be innocently confused. Where we're calling for love. And what I do to clean up my conditioned identity is something upsets me, I pray to my divine, whatever that is for you, but I pray to my divine and just say, please, I'll know right away, this is a reflection of a place inside me where I'm withholding love from myself, where I'm calling for love, where I need love. Help me bring love to that spot in my stained glass window that's calling for love. I don't know how to do it, but divine, please, help me clean that up. Change those panes of glass. Fix that crack. Do it for me, because that divine light is pouring through you and showing you where you need to bring some love into yourself. And as you bring love and forgiveness and beauty and kindness and compassion into yourself over and over again, your conditioned identity starts to shine up. And it starts to allow more light to shine through. More brilliance. And your occurring world becomes more beautiful. Everybody you see becomes pure love. They become awakened beings. And there's another way we can use the knowing that this occurring world is us. It is as much us as our awareness, our consciousness, our conditioned identity. And that's by knowing that the occurring world is the imbued light that's extending out. It's kind of like a movie theater. You have the light, and then you have the film. That's our conditioned identity. And then you have the picture out on the screen. Well, if we see something out there that we don't like, or if we want something out there, we want more love. We want more happiness. We want more fulfillment. We want to feel secure. Instead of reaching out into the effects, reaching out into the blank screen, the movie screen, it's not going to give us anything, a movie screen. We turn around and we face the true identity within us. We face the inner light, that absolute infinite source within us. That is who we are. We turn around and we look inside for source for the love, inside ourselves for the love, inside ourselves for the happiness, inside ourselves for security. Because the imbued light is just effect. The source is in us, beyond us, through us. Turn around and go look into the source. And then everything will just reflect the love, the happiness, fulfillment. It's a much faster and much more effective way to get what you want. And we all do want to get what we want. So just turn around and look towards the light that is you, an infinite source. So awakening is not a loss of the human expression and conditioning. Isn't that a relief? Awakening is a shift in identity. It is a shift from believing and identifying ourselves as only this conditioned identity, this limited body, brain, knowledge, to identifying ourselves as that infinite light that is shining through our human expression, as our human expression, and as the occurring world that is being experienced through our human expression. We come to a deep and profound awakening when we know deeply and profoundly that we are all three identities. We are all that is manifest and unmanifest. When you know that you are the one. Awakening is not enlightenment. People of all levels of consciousness awaken. All different types of conditioning awaken. Before, during, and after awakening, we continue to grow. We continue to expand. We continue to heal. We continue to transform. We continue to mature. Discovering who the infinite existence that you are is an adventure that never ends. You are a constant, ongoing, unfolding, unending miracle. You are omnipresent grace. You are infinity itself. And you know how you love? And I invite you all to love this way. I want to invite you all to love exactly as the rays of sunshine love. Those rays of sunshine love. And you love within you. Without expectation. You love without condition. You love without judgment. You love without discrimination. You love everyone and everything that is open to receive your love and allow your love in. I invite you to love from this day forward, to love unconditionally, maximally, and eternally to everyone and everything, everywhere, always and forever. Because that is who you are. That is how you shine. That is the truth of how you love. Thank you.